you. Today is indeed a seminal moment in the history of this country. As the Prime Minister said earlier, it is an important historical day in the Parliament of this country. For generations that will come after us, Madam Speaker, will judge us by our deeds and what we have done today and what we can achieve tomorrow to resolve this issue. Madam Speaker, for the avoidance of any doubt, let me from the outset say quite clearly, pellucidly clearly, that I, Asot Anthony Michael, member for St. Peter, is not here today for Hadid. I am not here for Shaul. I am not here for Spencer. I am not here for Syrian or for Lebanese, neither for Chinese. But Madam Speaker, I am here today for Antigua and Barbuda. I was sent into this honorable house, and I am privileged, Madam Speaker, as a minority, as an ethnic minority in this country, although I do not consider myself so. It is a fact that I am so. But I was sent here by the majority of the people of St. Peter to do their work. So, Madam Speaker, I'm not here to hold no brief for no one. No one. I want to make my position, Mr. Prime Minister, abundantly clear. But I'm here, Madam Speaker, to hold this government, headed by Baldwin Spencer, Prime Minister of this Twin Island state of ours, accountable. Accountable, Madam Speaker, because that was the buzzword that assisted the UPP to come to power. Accountability, transparency, good governance. I'm here, Madam Speaker, to hold the Baldwin Spencer administration. And I say Baldwin Spencer administration because whether any of you over there like it or not, he's the head of the administration. Whether you may agree or disagree with him, you are held collectively responsible for his actions and the actions of his cabinet. But I am here, Madam Speaker, to make sure the people of this country understand the extent of the high-level manipulation that they are being subjected to under the banner of civic pride, patriotism, nationalistic feelings raised in a most obnoxious, opportunistic manner by the Honorable Prime Minister when he delivered his address to the nation. And also earlier by the member for St. John's Wool North. Madam Speaker, on separate occasions, in this parliamentary term and in prior parliamentary terms, and more specifically, I want to cast your memory, Madam Speaker, to the budget of 2006, not in this parliamentary chamber, but in the previous building down the hill, where, Madam Speaker, I stood there and I urged the Prime Minister to reconsider government's working relationship with the Hadid group of companies in the public interest. Without reservation, Madam Speaker, I stand by those concerns steadfastly in 2006, and I stand by them tonight in 2008. Without reservation, without apology. If it's one person, and if it's one politician that's not afraid of any moneyed class or elite class, is your humble servant. That genuine, Madam Speaker, nationalistic position urged the Prime Minister to consider. For example, I told him that Antigua Power Company must have some form of role, and you must cause them to guarantee cheaper electricity rates for the people of this country, who I told you back in 2006 that the people of this country were being burdened by some of the highest electricity rates anywhere in the Caribbean. I said, Madam Speaker, back then, that APUA should be paying no more than 5.7 cents US a kilowatt hour for electricity provided by third parties. Clavis Joseph, the chairman of APUA, confirmed last week that the industry standard is somewhere between 3.5 cents and 5 cents. But I have to be honest, 3.5 cents is not acceptable. Nobody can make money after you have to invest your capital and have a decent return with 3.5.
Doesn't mean the capital, that's just selling power.
That's just selling power. Thank you. Yet, Madam Speaker, given an opportunity to negotiate or renegotiate a reduced price in March 2007 for power to be purchased from the 17 megawatt plant, government and APUA could do no better than maintain the same old price of 7.4 US cents per kilowatt hour. So much, Madam Speaker, for the negotiating capability in the public interest. You know why Mr. Stanford had dismissed me from negotiating any further with him? Because he said I was a hard negotiator, tough negotiator, given my mercantile Arab background that I brought to the table those necessary skills.
Can you hear that?
I want Mr. McGinley to hear that, the honorable member for St. John's Wool North.
Did you agree?
Madam Speaker, I ask the Prime Minister to consider the merits of the findings, Madam Speaker, of the Don Mitchell Queen's Council report, that the presence of Aziz Hadid in the cabinet represented a conflict of interest. Remember this report? What have you done about it? Have you implemented anything from it? The only thing I know you have implemented is fire Wilmer Daniel, the then minister, and demoted him. Madam Speaker, Justice Mitchell report at page 16 says, inter alia, and I quote, the public perception, rightly or wrongly, is that APC exerts a stranglehold on the nation. The minister and commissioners were concerned that without prompt action, the stranglehold is about to go tighter. The perception of a national crisis out of control is aggravated because Senator Hadid, who heads the family that owns a